have joined us this evening. And I'm looking here on my right-hand side, and I see that there are people all the way from Africa, as well as the Middle East. Welcome to you this evening. How we are going to conduct the session this evening is we are going to do a question-answer session. And the reason for this is that I'm sure you can hear Mammed is not feeling too well today, and unfortunately may not be able to get through an entire presentation. So what I'd like to do this evening is to open up the panel to you, and you can ask us any questions that you would like to be clarified. Mammed is here from the university to answer any academic related questions, and I'm here to answer any administrative questions as well. So what I'd like you to do now is, if you look at the right hand side of your panel, you can actually start writing and typing out all your questions, and we'll obviously do our best to answer them. What I will also be doing is looking at these questions quite carefully, because a lot of them might be similar, if not identical. Okay, and the mere fact that you are here this evening means that you have been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants, so you may already have received all this information about this program. Okay, so very briefly, let me just tell you a little bit about Stafford Global, and then I'm going to hand you over to Mammed, who will just briefly discuss the benefits of doing the MBA program, and then I'll answer all the questions. Okay, so Stafford Associates was established in 1993, and we are a resource center for distance learning education. And we basically are partners with 5 UK universities, one of which is Edinburgh Napier University. We do offer a variety of programs, ranging from certificates to diplomas, MBAs, right through until doctorates. So we really do have all the qualifications for all your personal and professional needs. Now, as I have already stated, the reason that you are here is because you have been in touch with one of our experienced academic consultants. And their function really is to assist you throughout the process of application and get that very, very important unconditional offer for you. We do have academic consultants across the globe. We have academic consultants that manage our Canadian market. We have from Africa. We also have in the Middle East. So you will be serviced from a variety of continents from our very, very experienced academic consultants. I'm now going to hand you over to Mammed, who will briefly just tell you a little bit about this MBA program, and I will then go through all the questions. Over to you, Mammed.
Helen, thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to everyone. Good evening to you all, and my apologies for my ill health. Unfortunately, it's out of my control, and it's something which I could really do without, considering all the difficult global circumstances and the problems we're going through at the moment. And I'm sure I'm not unique in feeling the way I do. And so my apologies. And I have been suffering from quite a severe cold and sore throat for a number of days now. And all the signs indicates that I've got lucky, and I am lucky, and it doesn't appear to be COVID-19, hopefully. And my apologies, and thank you very much for bearing with me this evening, and thank you, Helen, for organizing this in a way that I don't have to excuse me, go through the whole process of a full presentation. As you would probably appreciate, I don't think my throat can take it. I'm fully drugged up at the moment, and I've got all my medicines around me, so hopefully I'll be able to keep the moisture going in my throat till the end of this particular session. I'm Mammed Bagher. I am the director of the suite of MBA programs over at Edinburgh Napier University. We currently have 14 MBAs, 1 generalist and 13 specialist MBAs at the university. Those are all online. We also have blended online programs as well as a portfolio of 5 full-time MBA programs from age 12 to 27 months. The common denominator amongst all these programs is that individuals who have aspirations to go to middle to senior management and directorship, or individuals who are senior within their role at management and board level, and however they wish to get new tools into the tool set to develop new skill sets in order to cope with all the challenges that we deal with on a daily basis. And an example of what's been happening to our lives, all of us at global level since January, is a great indicator of how, I suppose, on the bottom we've got to be as managing and leading organizations are concerned. And one of the greatest examples, I think, is the way even organizations and some nations are managing and leading this particular, I suppose, challenge that's ahead of us. And now is better than any other time for people who are within middle to senior management or the ones with aspirations to really try to study programs similar to our MBA in order to upskill to a level that they could deal with the challenges that are ahead of us. Quite surprisingly, Helen, I don't know whether you've had an opportunity to look at some of the papers we've sent forward. The intake and the request for global online programs, we're inundated with applications now. Suddenly, everybody wants to do global online programs. Even the individuals who have the financial means and accessibility to full-time MBA education, now suddenly they're moving to global online, purely because nobody knows what's going to be ahead of us for the next 2 to 3 years. So these are the very basics of really what we're all about. I'm really sorry for starting on a negative. It's not negative. I think it's something that we have to be extremely alert and savvy and positive about. We've got to be positive. We've got to have fresh ideas, and we've got to try to be one step ahead of the game. To do that, we've got to be critical thinkers. To be critical thinkers, we have to be able to know what everything is all about and to be able to dig deep. And the real DNA of our MBA programs is based on that. So that's really my backup on this. By the very nature that you chaps and chapters throughout Middle East, Africa, and beyond are joining us, is because you're interested in the program. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague Helen now in order to try to answer your questions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mammed. And as Mammed has said, he is feeling a little bit under the weather, but we are here to actually answer all your questions. For those that have just joined us a little bit late, have just joined us now in this webinar, how we are going to conduct it this evening is a pure question and answer session. Mammed, as I said, is here from the UK to answer any academic related questions, and I'm here to answer any of your admission related questions. So please feel free to start typing out your questions now. I can see there are quite a lot of questions that have already come through. Okay, so let me get started. This is a question from Mohammed. Your MBA Healthcare Management Specialization MBA, is this accredited by ACSB?
Mohammed, welcome and thank you for that question. No, we are not accredited as yet. However, we are in process of finalizing our accreditation, which is quite ironic actually, because our last accreditation meeting was due to take place latter part of last month, which unfortunately had to be cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances with COVID-19. The application is submitted. The initial application is submitted. The only thing that's outstanding now is for AACSU to come back and to really cross-reference what we're saying to make sure that what we're saying is what we're actually doing. And on the back of that, hopefully we will be accredited. When we're going to get that accreditation right now, I don't have an answer for, purely because the circumstances have changed so drastically. However, we are online. We are online for that, and in line. Hopefully, we'll get it as soon as the circumstances change in order for us to establish what's ahead of us.
Excellent. And I have seen one or two questions with regarding to the duration of the program, and I can answer that for you. The duration of the program is 21 to 33 months. For students that do decide to take 2 modules per trimester, there is a possibility of completing it in 21 months. However, for students that do take 1 module per trimester, you actually can finish it in a much longer period, and also take your time in actually completing this MBA. And I'm sure Mammed will agree with me. There's no point in trying to rush the MBA. We're not here to actually make you fail this program. We're here to teach you the program and to take it in your stride. That's the flexibility of this MBA. So I'm sure Mammed will agree with me on that. Is pace your studies. Is that right, Mammed? Your thoughts on that?
Helen, I totally agree with you. You're absolutely right. The fundamental thing here is that notion of critical thinking. It's not just about knowledge, it's about that knowledge transfer. It's about how to transfer that knowledge and the capability and the new skill sets you're going to be acquiring into something tangible and into practice. To do that, you require time. It's very similar to building anything. You need a proper foundation first. And what we will do is we will be with you through every step of the way, and we will guide you. And that's why we encourage our students not to take more than 2 modules per trimester. And technically within one academic, where we don't have an academic standard academic year, we have a trimester rather than a semester. So within 12 months, you'll be having three academic sessions, and each one of those, if you take 2 modules, you already complete 6, and you only need 180 credits in order to totally complete the program. And 60 credits can be completed within 1 year, one academic year. So it's about taking your time. However, if your circumstances change, or if you wish to take 1 module instead of 2, you can even do that. It's about, as Helen said, enjoying the journey, trying to digest everything, and making absolutely sure what you're doing is fit for purpose.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we do have a follow-up question from Lauren. If I do join the MBA program now, will this eventually be accredited by ACSB, no matter how long I take to do this program?
Lauren, honest to goodness, I am not going to give promises. I don't know, because I really don't know what is happening. We're going through some major global challenges. We were very confident to be prior to a couple of weeks ago that once a submission was made, everything could be put in place and they can come do the inspections, and then if there are any recommendations, they're making recommendations. If not, then they'll accept without any recommendations, and we move things forward very quickly. We don't know, Lauren, and what I'm hopeful is by the time our new cohort of students complete the programs, natural completion of the programs, we'll be in a much stronger position to not so much from a context of what we dealing with, we are in that position, but it's a moving jigsaw puzzle. There's so many elements have to come together, and so many of those elements at the moment are outside my control and our control and the university control. All I can think about, Helen, is and Lauren, I would really I'm not trying to dodge your question. I'm trying to really be as sincere as possible.
Okay, excellent.
We'll be done as soon as we can.
And Rima's question is regarding the dissertation. Do I have to do the dissertation in my chosen field, or does my supervisor actually recommend what I should be doing it in?
We strongly advise you to do the topic, find the topics yourself. There is a caveat with every specialist programs that you study. If you study generalist MBA, your project, your dissertation could be as general as you want it to be. If you're going to be taking on a specialist program, then your skills for managers, as well as your project, i.e. your final thesis, your dissertation, has to be within your specialist field. And we will encourage you to use either your own organization or an organization that you're accustomed to, an organization that you want to really get yourself known, and then base that research on that organization. However, we will give you the foundation and we give you the roadmap in order how to go about it.
Good. And Fahad's question to you, Mammed, is this program worldwide recognized?
Fahad, the short answer is yes. We've got students from 140 different nationalities, different nations. Don't ask me how many countries are globally, I don't know, but I know we have 140 of them in our university. And if it wasn't globally recognized, we wouldn't have 140 different nationalities as students.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and regarding the graduation, yes, I'll actually answer that. Yes, the graduation will be held in the UK. You will get invited by the university to attend the graduation, and you will graduate with all students across the globe, whether they are doing it online or whether they're doing it full time. It is an auspicious occasion, so we do advise that you try and attend, and it would be great to see all your fellow classmates as well as all the tutors. For students that cannot attend the graduation, the university will ensure that your certificate does actually get sent through to you. Okay, so do try and attend that graduation if you can. Okay, a question from Ralph. Is it possible to study online and then continue my studies on campus once COVID-19 is over?
You're more than welcome. We're absolutely more than welcome to come and join us and join the cohort of students, face-to-face students. However, there may be charges incurring with that. Because the face-to-face program is more expensive than the online program. What we will do is, obviously, all the modules that you've already passed, we will give you advanced entry on them, and then you can come and you can top off those on face-to-face basis. However, I must warn, there might be an increase in the fee. Good.
And Sachna's question is twofold. If I have to submit my assignments by a certain due date, and unfortunately I cannot submit it, number one, do I get an extension? My second question is, if I do get stuck with my assignment and I need additional assistance, can I contact you or the relevant tutor?
Okay, thanks, Helen. I'm going to answer the question back to front. I'm going to answer number 2 first. You have direct access to your online tutor, your excuse me, module leader, and the program leaders. You have direct access to all the guidance that you require, and including one-to-ones. If under any circumstances you will not be able to submit your coursework on time, providing you can give us an extenuating circumstance, i.e. something that is convincing us that is legitimate, that for whatever reason you can't submit on time, we will grant you an extension. And even if at times you have to pull out a program or a module for a short while, be it 3 months, be it 6 months, be it 12 months, because of circumstances beyond your control, providing you go through the proper channels and fill specific application forms in for the request, will grant you that. Because we are not here to set anybody up for fall. Helen already highlighted that we are here to guide individuals for you to become educated. We are educators, and majority of the students we have, the new students come to us through recommendations, and we're here to help. We are not here to set anybody for.
Good, absolutely. And a very, very interesting question from Lauren. What is the pass rate for this MBA? You have mentioned that you have quite a lot of students from across the globe. Do you have an idea about this percentage?
The last MBA board we went to, our overall pass rate was at 89%.
Excellent. That's a very, very high percentage. That's excellent. And that is testament to the tutors and to the support at the university. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mammed.
You're absolutely right, Helen. And also one thing I've got to qualify, that doesn't mean the other 11% will fail and will not end up with anything. Those individuals, maybe through circumstances beyond the control, be it educationally, be it family, be it professionally, they may have to pull out their program, or we may have to exit them. If they exit with 60 credit, we give them postgraduate certificate. If they exit with 120 credit, we give them postgraduate diploma. And when they exit by 180, then get an MBA. So that 11% is not just waste of time, is maybe because of those circumstances, and they walk away with the qualification, but not necessarily an MBA.
Brilliant, excellent. And a very common question that we do get is whether students can actually do a double major. And I do see another question from Laura, which is very similar to this question. If I start off with an MSc, because I do like your MSc programs, and then I decide to do an MBA, will I be able to get credits for that? So it's almost a very similar question. Mammed, over to you.
If we are awarded an MSc in business management from us and apply to study MBA with us, then you're quite likely to be rejected, purely because there are a number of modules that have similarities. And as a rule, by QA rule, we can't give somebody an award more than once. You can't be awarded for same qualification or the same certificate of credit twice. However, if you stay in MSc and halfway through you decide to move on to MBA or vice versa, what we will do is we'll have a look at the credits you've done and do the mapping, and if the credits duplicate or are similar, then we give you advanced entry to move you into the other program.
Excellent. And I'll answer Fahad's question. Fahad's question is about the deadline for the application. We are currently accepting applications for the May 2020 cohort. The May cohort starts on the 18th of May. So Fahad, if you wish to be part of this cohort, please do send us your application documents as soon as possible. I do advise that all these application documents get scanned and emailed to your academic consultant, and we can get it processed for you as soon as possible and send it to the university for that important unconditional offer. Okay.
Helen, may I just apologies for interrupting. I think it's important for me just to stress something, which I don't normally do, but this time, if you recall at the beginning of my presentation, I did mention that we are inundated with applications.
Yes.
We are in uncharted waters right now, and everybody, even those who want to study full-time, applying for MBA online, is a one-off capacities. So those individuals who actually wish to apply, I urge you to apply as soon as possible to secure that offer letter. Otherwise, we may not, if you leave it too late, we may not be able to accommodate you, and we may have to move it to September or possibly January 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. You're quite correct there, Mammed. So as I did state, please do try and get all those application documents to us very, very urgently. You can contact our academic consultants, or they will be in touch with you tomorrow as well, so that we can assist you to get those documents into the university very quickly. Okay, so I'll answer the next question from Amy with regards to her degree. Amy has completed a degree in English, and her question is, do I still need to provide evidence of English proficiency? Again, Amy, it's very important that you do send us your degree certificate and transcript. Our experienced academic consultants will be able to tell you if you will be exempt from the English proficiency. So please do send that through to us as soon as possible. Okay, and a very popular question again is, will my MBA certificate just state MBA, but if I'm doing a specialization, will that specialization be mentioned on my certificate?
Your MBA will be determined with what you study. If you study generalist MBA, you'll end up with a certificate that says MBA. If it's MBA and specialism, it would be MBA and your specialism added to that. One thing that won't be mentioned on the application, on the actual certificate, is that online. Because to us, it makes no difference whether you study online, blended online, distance learning, or full-time, face-to-face. The learning objectives are totally identical. However, you'd be MBA in, for example, operational management, or just MBA.
Right, absolutely. And that is a very important question that I can see quite a lot of you have asked us is, does it actually state online distance learning? And as Mammed has confirmed, it does not. And Catherine, I see that you're interested in a master's in innovation. Please do get in touch with our consultants. We do have 13 different specializations that you can actually choose from. And what we'd like to see from you, Catherine, is your CV. And just a little bit about your background, what your aspirations are, because we'd like to actually guide you as to doing the right specialization that would suit your personal as well as your professional needs. So please feel free to send it to me. You can see my email address there, or if you have already been in contact with one of our experienced academic consultants, please do send that information through to them, and we'll guide you all the way as to which specialization you should actually be choosing. Okay, and we'll just go on to the next question. Oh, okay, very important again with regards to the university issuing letters for visas in order to attend a graduation, or to even attend to perhaps come and see you, Mr. Mammed. Would I require, or would the university be able to provide me a letter to obtain my visa for that?
Of course we can. As far as the visit here is concerned, it's not the first time I've had visits from overseas. Students tend to come in and the nation, excuse me, will provide our students with a couple of weeks tourist visa anyway, if they say they're coming over. You don't even need a letter from us. However, as far as the graduation is concerned, you will be receiving an official invitation from us. And the reason we do that is because it's not just about you, it's about just in case you want to bring a loved one or two with you. That's where that letter becomes important. So we extend that invitation not only to yourself, but also to one or two partners as well, be it your parents, be it your partner and your child, so on and so forth.
Good. And Lait's question is, what is the maximum time period that I can actually stretch this MBA? You have mentioned that I should pace myself, which I totally agree with. However, what is the maximum duration that you will allow me to complete this program? I
think, Helen, it's just a matter of doing a very simple maths. it can be done, the 180 credits in total, what we call 7+1. 7 of the modules are 20 credit modules. The final module which is a project, which is 40 credit module. You can take one module per trimester, and you can stretch your final project into 2 modules. So in effect, 3 modules per year, that it can actually take it all the way to 3 years and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and a question about induction, and I can see there's about 3 questions relating to induction. Number 1 is, what is the importance of induction? And the second question is, in the event that I do miss this induction, is it recorded in order for me to go back to and look through?
Very important question, Helen. Induction by its own nature is inducting you into what you're about to do. It's a roadmap. It's not only fundamental for you to start the whole program with first and foremost going through the induction fully, but more importantly, to revisit that roadmap, as I call it, from time to time as well. Purely because without that induction, you will set yourself up for all sorts of complications. It's very similar to having to go somewhere strange, somewhere that you've never been before, without any satellite navigation system, without any map, and you just start to drive. Imagine if you're driving there, and hope to get to your destination. I've got news for you guys. It's not going to happen, because you're dealing with something that's online. You're dealing with something which is very, very two-dimensional. Technology is two-dimensional. It doesn't deal with feelings. It doesn't deal with chancing it. And honest to goodness, part of the whole essence of MBA is to do things the smart way rather than the hard way. So please, 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 I urge those of you guys who are successful with the application to first and foremost start your induction, and from time to time to revisit that.
Good. And we have Charles all the way from Canada that has joined us this evening. Hello to you, Charles. And I can answer the question. Charles has a postgraduate diploma from a university in Canada, and will the university provide me with credits? Very good question, Charles. Yes, the university will look at providing with possible credit exemption. What your academic consultant would want from you is to submit your degree, as well as a copy of your transcript, and also the learning outcomes of the modules that you have completed. This will then go through to Mammed and his team, who will obviously look and see if the modules that you have completed do cover exactly the learning outcomes of the modules at Edinburgh Napier University. And based on that, they'll be able to look and see if we can give you some credits. So do try and send those documents as soon as possible, because that process can take a little longer than normal. So I do advise that you send it to us possibly in the next couple of days. Okay. Okay, and a question from Keith, who's actually in Kuwait. My question to you is, I know that a lot of the staff are now working from home during this COVID period. How can I contact you? Can I perhaps contact you telephonically? I know this might not be possible, but can I then perhaps contact you via email? And are all tutors available to assist me in this way?
The answer is yes, yes, and yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, and Catherine, we've already discussed the deadline for registration. Please do try and get the documents into us as soon as possible. The course starts on the 18th of May. So I do advise that you try and send all your documents to us in the next couple of days. Okay, and if I fail an assignment, do I get a rewrite, or is it a fail mark?
If you fail an assignment, then we'll give you a feedback as to why you failed an assignment and what you have to do in order to pass. Then we'll give you another opportunity to retake that assessment without any extra charge, and hopefully you will successfully complete that. However, it will be capped at P1, just pass. In the very, very rare occasion of you failing second time round, then we give you another opportunity to purchase another module and start it all over again. But it's only a very rare and need to know basis kind of thing. Please don't go there. You are studying MBA. You are not about to embark on engineered failures. Circumstances beyond your control are different. We have everything in place. We exercise duty of care towards you. You have problems, you let us know. We give you extension. We give you backup. We give you guidance. We give you help. Things fall down. We give you a second help. Please, please don't make life difficult for yourselves.
Good. And the next question is from Amy with regards to working experience. I'll answer that. Amy's question is, how many years working experience would I need to apply if I do not have a degree? And that's a very good question, Amy, because we do get a lot of applicants in the same position as yourself that have got vast years of working or managerial and leadership experience. So what we'd like to do is look at your CV. If you can demonstrate at least 4 or 5 years and more managerial work experience, we will be able to possibly apply on a non-standard basis for the MBA program. Again, do get in touch with us, with the academic consultant or with myself, and we'll be able to guide you on that accordingly. Okay, and again, a very interesting question that does keep on coming up, Mammed. Why is this particular MBA not showing any examinations? I can see that there are only assessments. Why is it that there's no examinations like any other traditional MBA?
Actually, a majority of traditional MBAs don't have examinations either. You may have the odd examination. It'd be accounting, for example, was 2 × 2 = 4 kind of thing. Exam by its own nature is called TCA, Time Constraint Assessment. If you recall, I've mentioned the term critical thinking on a number of occasions during the course of this discussion. In order for you to become a critical thinker, you're going to have to do the thinking, deep thinking. You need reflection. What separates you, or I suppose a mature individual, what I mean by mature is somebody who's got judgment as well as knowledge, it's got wisdom as well as knowledge, and have the capability to not put knowledge into practice. To do that, they allow room to reflect, they allow room to think, to deal with things. You have time constraint assessment is to develop you to work under pressure. What we have put together are end of unit progress tests, there are time constraint assessments, there are exams, but exams that you can tailor to yourself and judge your own time constraint and deal with your own emotional stress of making decisions under pressure, because different individuals have different emotional pressure points. That's why 10% of every single module consists of that, which actually, whatever you do with those end of unit progress tests, which I urge you to do it on a weekly basis, counts for up to 10% of the overall grade. The other 90% is to get you to become a critical thinker. One of the reasons our MBA programs are so popular, one of the reasons we are one of the leading universities when it comes to our MBA program, and quite a number of other programs as well, throughout Scotland and UK, is because of the ethos we have: knowledge into practice, critical thinking, and being able not to giving the individuals the tools not to make the same mistake more than once.
Good, excellent. And we have one final question from Nabil, all the way from Saudi Arabia. And Nabil's question is to you, Mammed. Does this MBA guarantee me a job worldwide? I know it's a fantastic MBA. I have seen all the information that the Stafford consultant has provided me with, but I'd like your opinion. Can I get a job with this MBA?
Nabil, that's a very good question. I think what you need to do is do some independent research, because I'm very biased towards MBAs and towards the program. Independent research, if you search that with academic, proper, reputable academic literature, you will notice the individuals who have an MBA title after the name, which we call the badge of honor. They tend to be able to get an inflationary income of up to 35% more. In order to be able to be a global manager, global leader, or to be able to work with all the complexities, you need to have the relevant qualification, and this badge of honor is going to equip you to do that. Ultimately, we are academic providers, we are not employment providers, but we will give you excellent academic backup, excellent academic credibility, and that's something which will make you much more marketable. The head of Mercedes-Benz, Daimler, Chrysler is an ex-MBA or is an MBA alumni of ours. Yes, you become much more employable. What you do is you get that qualification and you use that qualification with other skills and capabilities and communicational skills that you have, sir, in order to propel yourself into the next challenge in your life.
Right, spot on, Mammed. Thank you very much for that. Okay, and I've managed to actually group all the questions together, and thank you very much everyone for attending. Some excellent questions that were posed to Mammed and myself. As I have said, we are currently accepting applications for the May 2020 cohort. It does start on the 18th of May. And if you do want to join this cohort, as Mammed has said, there may be limited places available. So do send those academic qualifications and all your other application documents to your academic consultant so that we can send it through to the university. Again, Mammed, thank you so much for joining us. And I know you're a little bit unwell today, but really do appreciate you taking the time to chat to us today and answer all these questions.
Helen, honestly, my thanks to go to yourself, your team, and also to all the participants. And please accept my apologies again for not being on top form as far as my voice is concerned. And thank you for putting up with me. I look forward to welcoming as many of you as possible into the program. And I wish everybody a safe and a healthy future, because we're all in uncharted waters, and please be careful out there.
Absolutely. And good evening to all, and please stay safe.